Okay, so somebody wanted a closer look at my Blu Ray collection, so I'm going to go through them. We're going to start over here where the box sets are. So we've got Apocalypse Now, Collector's Edition, Avatar Extended Edition, Die Hard Trilogy or Quadrilogy, Fast and Furious 1 to 4, I think, 1 to 5 maybe. I think it's 1 to 5. Indiana Jones 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Jurassic Park Trilogy, Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2, Lethal Weapon, Mad Max, The Man with No Name Trilogy, Matrix. I don't know why this is blurry. The Universal Monsters, Planet of the Apes, Rambo 1, 2, and 3, Rocky Collection, which is up to Rocky Balboa. Scream 1, 2, and 3, Seagal Collection, Stallone Collection, Stanley Kubrick's Visionary Filmmaker Collection. There's the first 6 Star Trek movies with the original cast in that one. Star Wars Complete Saga, Superman Collection, which has got Superman 1, 2, 3, 4, which is the Quest for Peace, and Superman Returns. Toy Story 1 and 2. X-Men Quadrilogy and Z Nation Season 1 and 2. Plus we've got the Danny Boyle Collection. Battlestar Galactica Seasons 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the final season. And The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises and Batman Begins. So then we come over here. We have Waterworld, which is the 2-disc super special edition from Arrow Video. Next to that, we've got the Arrow Video Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 box set, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, Demons 1. One of the guys in work has Demons 2 at the moment. The Exterminator, Maniac Cop, Red Scorpion, Vamp, Tenebrae, Obsession, Deep Red, Cat o' Nine Tails, Bird with a Crystal Plumage, and The Beyond. These are the first old school Arrow releases when they were the white box Giallo collections and the cult movies. Then we've got Ronin from Arrow, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, Kofi, Foxy Brown, Funhouse, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Let me get a bit more light on that. Night Riders, which is George Romero's film, Pit Stop from Jack Hill, Who Dares Wins, The Wild Geese, and Zombie Flesh Eaters. And we've got The Beast Within, Blind Woman's Curse, which is a Japanese samurai movie, female samurai movie, Brian De Palma's Blowout, Seijun Suzuki's Branded to Kill, Bride of Reanimator, The Burbs, The Car, Contamination, Romero's The Crazies, Delta Force. Let me just move Doc Brown. Dressed to Kill, another Brian De Palma film. Another Brian De Palma film next to that, which is Fury, which has got a fantastic score by John Williams. House, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, Life Force, Motel Hell, Lady Snowblood, Night of the Comet, People Under the Stairs, The Phantom, and one of the greatest apocalypse movies of all time, The Quiet Earth. And then we've got Rabid, which is Rabid. I don't know how people say it. I say it Rabid. Which is the David Cronenberg film. Remo Williams, Rollerball. Rollerball's really boring. I don't understand why it's apparently so good, but it's not. Satan's Blade, I haven't watched it because apparently it's shit. The Stuff, Time Bandits, which is the Terry Gilliam film. Runaway Train, Michael Mann's Thief, brilliant movie. John Carpenter's The Thing. To Live and Die in LA, Zardos. These are the Arrow videos. Then we've got the Arrow Academy. I haven't got many Arrow Academy. I've got Cinema Paradiso, The Killers, which is the 1960s version, not the 1940s version, but I do have the 1940s version on DVD. Stanley Kubrick's The Killing, Long Goodbye, Night of the Hunter, which was the only film directed by Charles Lawton, and Jules Dassin's Rafifi, which is usually classed as the greatest heist film of all time. Then we've got Sullivan's Travels, and then we go on to the Eureka Masters of Cinema collection. Quite a few of these, not a huge amount, not as many as my Arrow, but we've got a Mad Detective, which is a Johnny Toe movie. Johnny Toe and Y Car Fi. Silent Runnings, Touch of Evil, which is a fantastic crime thriller noir type of thing. Island of Lost Souls, Double Indemnity, which is amazing. White Dog, which I haven't seen yet. Harold and Maude, it's a classic. Waking Fright, looks really nice on Blu Ray. Violent Saturday, which is a 1950s, early 1960s crime thriller. Journey to the Centre of the Earth, this is the James Mason version. Gandra and Hess, vampire movie, I believe. I haven't watched it yet. Shogun Assassin, obviously, because it's amazing. And The Night of the Creeps, brilliant, awesome zombie movie from the 80s, which I also have the other DVD. I have the Region 1 DVD somewhere. Then we've got the 101 films. We've got Toy Soldiers, Solar Babies, or Solar Warriors as it was known in the UK, but it's actually called Solar Babies. Dolls, Lord of Illusion, Stone Cold, Alien Nation, Nightmares, one of the funniest films I've ever seen. Basketball, Cherry Falls, Paradise Alley, which is a Sylvester Stallone film, and Into the Night, which is Michelle Pfeiffer and Jeff Goldblum. I haven't watched this yet. I have seen the film, but I haven't watched it since I bought it. And then there's the FX collection, which has got Brian Brown and Brian Dennehy in it. So then we've got the Van Damme collection, which has got AWOL, Death Warrant, and Black Eagle. Decent enough movies. They was cheap. Most of the 101 films were cheap. I bought them in the Christmas sale. Just above them, we've got Escape Plan, Sinners and Saints, and Django Unchained. Right, then we've got the Warner Premiere Collection. I've only got 5 of these, but I've got Krull, Outland, the Yakuza, which is one of the coolest movies of all time. It's got Robert Mitchum in it, playing a complete badass in Japan. Logan's Run, brilliant movie. Clash of the Titans, and then Ready Player One. Moving down one, let me put Marty McFly and other Marty McFly. So I have, as you can see, Marty McFly and then little Marty McFly, and then we've got Doc Brown. I have a little Doc Brown somewhere, but I can't remember where it is. So let me pull out my chair. So I sit down. Right. The Exorcist. These, I believe, were in order. I may have moved some stuff around. I can't remember. So we've got The Exorcist, The Expendables 1, 2, and 3, Luc Besson's The Family, Fast and Furious 6, 7, and 8, to go with the Fast and Furious box set just over there. We have The French Connection and The French Connection 2. Both films, awesome. William Friedkin directed the first one, and John Frankenheimer directed the second one. The Guest, which is a really cool movie. If you haven't seen The Guest, I highly recommend checking it out. It's a throwback to like the John Carpenter movies of the 80s. We've got From Beyond from Stuart Gordon. I believe it is, yeah, Stuart Gordon. Halloween, the original John Carpenter movie. Hateful Eight, Hot Fuzz, How the West Was Won. We got the 4 Hunger Games movies. I actually quite like the Hunger Games, so shoot me. Inception, Jaws, John Wick 1 and 2, Kingsman, only the first Kingsman because the second one's utter shit. Night and Day, Last Stand, Life, Logan, Looper, The Martian, Non-Stop, Olympus Has Fallen, and London Has Fallen. One of the best animated films or shows I've ever seen, which is absolutely gorgeously animated, but it's got this horrible Japanese sticker on it. Not Japanese sticker, Australian, mate. Over the Garden Wall. Animation is absolutely gorgeous on this. Pacific Rim, Pitch Black, Prince of Persia. Quite a lot of these I bought when I was working in Blockbuster, and they were cheap, but I probably won't watch again, but that's not actually a bad film. Prometheus, Pulp Fiction, Parker, Predators, Purge Anarchy, the Purge election year, Quatermass in the Pit, such an awesome sci-fi film from the UK from the 1960s. This is a really good, really nice Blu-ray as well. As you can see, the artwork's really, really, really good. It really looks good as well. The Raid 1 and 2, Red. Just above that, we've got the Omega Man, Vengeance, which is another Johnny Toe film. Frozen, The Conjuring, Bullet, American Sniper, The Wild Bunch, and Edge of Tomorrow. We come down one. We've got Attack of the Block, Rocky Balboa, Unearthly Stranger, which is a sci-fi film from the 1960s, which is a British one, which has John Neville in it. It's a decent film. Nothing spectacular compared to the other stuff the UK put out in the 60s. Then we've got, let me get some light down here. We've got Resident Evil Collection, Resident Evil Retribution, Riddick, which is the third in the Chronicles of Riddick movie series. Assault, Safe, Saving Private Ryan, Scarface, Skyfall, Southern Comfort, Stargate, Star Wars Rogue One, Star Wars The Force Awakens, The Clone Wars Season 1, Taken 2. I don't know why I've got Taken 2. Titanic. The whole reason I bought this was because it's a stunningly well-made film, and I thought that, hey, that's going to look amazing on Blu Ray in high definition, so that's the reason I've got it. Total Recall, 12 Monkeys, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. I still need to get War of the Planet of the Apes. Then we've got Universal Soldier Day of Reckoning with the lenticular cover. It's a hyper-violent movie. The Wolverine, X-Men, Days of Future Past, District 9, 2012, and Battle Los Angeles. We've got 13 Hours, 21 Jump Street. I have 22 Jump Streets somewhere. Army of Darkness. I'd love to get like a super special edition UK version of Army of Darkness. Then we've got AI, Artificial Intelligence, Air Force One, a film everybody should own on Blu-ray or DVD, which is Akira. This one here with the strange writing, I believe it's Finnish or something like that. That's Assault on Precinct 13. American Werewolf in London, Bad Boys, Battle Beyond the Stars, The Big Hit, Biggles, Adventures in Time, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Blade 1 and 2, The Blob, Bodyguard, Body Heat, Bone Tomahawk, The Book of Eli, Buckaroo Banzai, Bullet to the Head, Cadillac Records, which has got some absolutely amazing music in it. Cannibal Holocaust, this is uncut. I think this is uncut. This is the French Blu-ray. Can't Hardly Wait, Cargo, which is a French science fiction film. Chappie and Cherry 2000. Coming on down, what have we got above? Hang on, let me get some light down here. We have Jeff Wayne's War of the World, Man of Tai Chi, Star Trek Beyond, and Troll Hunter, E.T. Lawless, and the Baytown Outlaws. And then we've got Children of Men, Chronicles of Riddick, Chuck Norris in A Force of One, and Chuck Norris in the Octagon, the Clint Eastwood collection, which has got Pale Rider, The Outlaw Josie Wales, and Unforgiven in there. Close Encounters, Conan and Tate, Con Air, Conan the Barbarian, Conan the Destroyer, Contact, The Crow. We've got Damnation Alley, which this is a recent purchase. Great film. Dark Angel, Dawn of the Dead remake, The Day After Tomorrow. One of the best British science fiction films you will ever watch, The Day the Earth Caught Fire. Absolutely love this movie. I've seen it countless times, and this BFI Blu-ray just looks amazing. I do believe it's getting a 4K, which will be interesting to see. The Day the Earth Stood Still, another classic of the sci-fi, like the golden era of science fiction. We got Dead Heat, The Deep, Despicable Me 1 and 2, The Dirty Dozen, Django, possibly one of the worst Blu-rays ever made. Doomwatch, Dread, Drive Angry, The Earth versus the Flying Saucer, Easy A, End of Watch, Edge of Darkness. End of Watch is a fucking great movie. Enter the Dragon, Bruce Lee, Eve of Destruction, Event Horizon, Evil Dead 2, Extreme Prejudice, which is a Walter Hill film, The Faculty, Falling Down, Fire and Ice, which is a Ralph Bakshi animated movie, which uses Frank Frazetta style artwork. It's all rotoscope though. It's like a fantasy like barbarian movie. It looks amazing. Fired Up, which is a Switch My Brain Off movie. Flash Gordon, The Fly, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, Forsaken, which is a great little western starring Kiefer Sutherland. The Frighteners, From Dusk Till Dawn, From Paris With Love, Fury, Ghostbusters 1 and 2, Ghost of Mars, Ghost Town, The Gift, Goodfellas, Guns of Navarone, and Hackers. Right, you have to give me a sec to just move around. Right. And then we got to go down one more. Well, two more shelves. We have Hard Target, Highlander, The House Bunny, yes, I know. Hypertension 1 and 2, which is actually Crank 1 and 2. High Road to China, In a Valley of Violence, which I recently picked up, which is a really cool western with Ethan Hawke and John Travolta. It's directed by Ty West. Independence Day Resurgence, which is awful. Inglourious Bastards, Invaders from Mars. This is not the original one, although I have that on DVD. This is the Tobe Hooper remake from the early 80s with Karen Allen. I think it's Karen Allen. No, Karen Black, sorry. I Saw the Devil. That film is brutal. Brutal. Relentless violence in that film. Very cool movie, but Jesus Christ, it's a hard watch. Island of Terror, which is another British sci-fi movie from the early 60s. Jackie Brown, Johnny Handsome, Joshua Tree, or Army of One, depending on where you're from. Judge Dredd, that's the Stallone version. And we've got Kelly's Heroes, Kick-Ass, The Killer, John Woo's The Killer. Awesome film, one of the best action films ever made. The Kingdom, we have the Mill Creek release of Krull. Apparently this is in the correct aspect ratio, whereas the Warner Premiere Collection is not. Then we got Labyrinth, LA Confidential, Land of the Dead. One of my favourite sci-fi films of all time. Last Starfighter, can watch that over and over again. And we have The Last Unicorn, which is another early 80s, late 70s animated movie. That's got beautiful animation in it. We've got Legend of Billie Jean, Leon, Logan's Run, which is the US version. I have it on the Premiere Collection now. Mad Max Fury Road, Malone, Man on Fire, The Man Who Could Cheat Death in the Skull, Maximum Risk, The Mist, Moon, Mr. Majestic, National Treasure 1 and 2, The Neverending Story, Nice Guys, Night of the Creeps, the US one, Night of the Living Dead, The Ninth Configuration, North by Northwest, Operation Condor, Armour of God 2, Paranorman, Payback, to a straight-up director's cut, which is the Brian Helgeland version of Payback, Pentathlon, Pontypool, Point Break, Poltergeist, Predator, Predator 2, The Professionals, and The Quick and the Dead. And then at the bottom, we have The Mechanic and Stick. Then we've got some others. White Lightning, and The Last Man Standing, and The Last Boy Scout. And that white one there is Oblivion. So then we've got The Punisher. Right, so we've got The Punisher with Dolph Lundgren, The Punisher with Thomas Jane. So we've got Red Belt, Red Heat, Red Hill, The Red Shoes, Reservoir Dogs, Retroactive, The Revenant, Roadhouse, Robinson Crusoe on Mars, RoboCop trilogy, plus the RoboCop Region A or US release, but that's the director's cut. Rolling Thunder, Romancing the Stone, Ronin, the catalogue release. I had that way before Arrow brought out the other one. The Rover's an awesome film. It's got Guy Pearce and Robert Pattinson in it. Saigon, also known as Off Limits, with Willem Dafoe and Gregory Hines. Then we've got The Shadow, Shaun of the Dead, Singing in the Rain, which is one of the greatest movies ever made. Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow, Snowpiercer. This, I have two versions of this. Snowpiercer. This is the US Blu Ray. This doesn't work anymore. It did work, but it doesn't work anymore. Then we've got William Friedkin's Sorcerer, which is an epic movie. It's slow burn, but it's a really cool movie. It's a remake of Wages of Fear, which is a French film. Soylent Green, Spawn, the movie, Speed, John Carpenter's Starman. Then we got Starship Troopers. Next to Starship Troopers is Streets of Fire, which is one of my favourite 80s movies. And one of my favourite Walter Hill movies, actually. And we've got Striking Distance, Sudden Death, Frank Sinatra in Suddenly. Suddenly's great. Taken a Pelham 123, which is the original one, not the remake. This is Tank Girl, which is the I think that is the Scream Factory or Shout Factory. Taxi Driver, brilliant movie. Ted, The Terminator. I also have Terminator 2 somewhere, but I don't know where that's gone. Randomly. Thunderbolt and Lightfoot, THX 1138, which is the first film from George Lucas, the original version of The Time Machine from 1961 or 1960 with Rod Taylor. We got Tombstone, which again was another recent pickup, although I own this on DVD. Was in the mood to buy some westerns, and I love Tombstone anyway. Train to Busan, which is the greatest, one of the best zombie movies to come out in God knows how long. Tremors, True Romance, Usual Suspects, The Warriors, Ultimate Director's Cut, which is an awful version of The Warriors. I do have the theatrical cut on DVD. Westworld, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and then seasons 1 and 2 of The Walking Dead. So then if we go up to the top, not all the way. If we go up here, there we go. There's Joe Kidd, which is actually from that box set, which is the Clint Eastwood box set. And then we've got Alien, and then we've got some like comic book movies here, not including the Back to the Future box set, which is Back to the Future 2 is my favourite film of all time. So we've got Ant-Man vs. Wasp, Avengers, Infinity War, Deadpool 2, Deadpool, I don't know why they're the wrong way around. Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2, again, don't know why they're the wrong way around. Iron Man 2 and 3, I don't have Iron Man 1. Wonder Woman and Captain America. I don't know why there's a one Wonder Woman, one DC movie sticking out between a bunch of Marvel movies. Platoon, Shawshank Redemption. This is the remake of The Thing, or the prequel, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Cabin in the Woods, John Carpenter's Prince of Darkness. This is the other copy of Snowpiercer. This is the French version. That does work. Kong Skull Island, Star Trek Into Darkness. Kubo and Two Strings, Solo, World's End, Serenity. This isn't mine, this is my brother's. I need to give it back to him once I've watched it. I've had it for months, which is Perfect Blue. We've got some Scream Factory or Shout Factory, whatever the one you want to call them. We have Body Bags, Escape from New York, The Fog, Mad Max, and They Live. And we've got South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. Dirty Dancing, which is the 30th anniversary edition. Survival of the Dead, 22 Jump Street, and then we've got some Steelbooks. Let me move the kangaroo. Vanishing Point, Wanted, Big Trouble in Little China, Byzantium, Dick Tracy, Elysium, Evil Dead, Reanimator, Return of the Living Dead, The Rocketeer, Scanners, Scott Pilgrim, Serpico, and Super 8. That is pretty much all the Blu Rays that I've got here. I have a few more, but they're not that interesting. There's a copy of E.T. somewhere, but I don't know where it's gone. So yeah, thanks for watching.